up? I'm going to be here while Drag finish fapping, because you know he's an atheist. He's in the flesh, so I'm filling in until he's done. Yeah. While we wait, I'm gonna play this little song on the ukulele. Coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. So nervous. Coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down, cause I want it all. Got it out with a kiss. How did it end up like this? It was only a kiss. It was only a kiss. Now I'm falling. Oh my god. So Drag is done. He's out of the flesh. Here's your host, Dragnauct.
Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. Wait. Whoa. So you decided to go live, and then I come out the bathroom, and you over here playing with my setup against my wishes, and you playing my jazz music, and you're saying things and stuff and things, okay? And whatnot. That's not how we do this here, okay? There's a order on how we do things, okay? Do you see my mustache? Do you see it? There's an order to everything we do here, all right? We're not doing that intro. You hit the wrong one, all right? We're not doing that one today. We're doing this one.
The announcement is this. I'm going to be doing a Google Hangout next Friday. Not today, but next Friday. And that particular Google Hangout will be focused on primarily one thing. I'm asking everyone to bring their own personal rap to this particular Google Hangout.
I'm going to expose myself on YouTube. I'm going to make a YouTube video embarrassing myself.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, I got to tell you about the fabulous, most groovy
G-Man. You know you're breaking the law right now. I will stomp a mud hole in you, sir.
I am not playing Dragnauct.
My name is G-Man. You got the audacity. You're going to jail. You got the audacity.
My name is G-Man.
You got the audacity. That's all I got to say. You got the audacity. I stole $3,000. You got the audacity. You got the audacity. Because you don't got no evidence.
My name is G-Man. My name is G-Man.
So big can this guy be?
My name is G-Man. My name is G-Man.
You can't beat me in fighting. You can't beat me in chemistry. You can't beat me in biology. You can't even walk better than me. You can't outrun me. Dude, you can't even out-talk me. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey City.
G-Man.
You got the audacity. You're going to jail. You got the audacity.
My name is G-Man.
You got the audacity. That's all I got to say. You got the audacity. I stole $3,000. You got the audacity.
My name is G-Man.
So big can this guy be?
My name is G-Man. G-Man. My name is G-Man. G-Man.
You can't beat me in fighting. You can't beat me in chemistry. You can't beat me in biology. You can't even walk better than me. You can't outrun me. Dude, you can't even out-talk me. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey City.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Preaching to the Choir Ministries.
All right, folks, how y'all doing today? Figure y'all like a little treat. This is a late night one. I just so happened to get notification that somebody sent me his name too, and I still forgot his damn name. Leroy. I don't think it's Leroy. I think it's D-Roy. Because I feel bad that because I make it a big deal when people get my name wrong. I like Leroy. He looks like a Leroy. He looks that's an old guy name. I gotta do the fuck you messages and all this other kind of stuff. Somebody sent me his actual name. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be honest with this. What is his name? Like, I'm sorry. Like, did somebody actually know his name? I'm dead serious. Because I thought it was D-Roy Cruz. Cause I think I call him Leroy. I think I call him something else. Mr. Cruz. Okay, I'm just calling you Mr. You call him Mr. Dragnauct, Mr. Cruz. That's fine. I usually have my shit together when it comes to people's names. My stuff together. So, anyway. I gotta adjust my camera because someone's short messed it up. What if I told y'all that the camera is like on top of a bottle of KY jelly right now?
Not even the real world.
It's not even. Oh, is my brain in a vat? Is that what you're saying? Do you want to do this review? Do you want to review him? This is Striking Vipers. You want to play Striking Vipers later? My Viper already struck. We already did that. It's done. It's done. Dunzo. Shit. Anyway, that these atheists talking about fornicating. Well, it wouldn't be because we're married. It wouldn't be fornicating technically. No, okay, so no, it wouldn't. They being vulgar.
He liked it. He put a ring on it.
They're talking about having the relations. I gotta remind me to send him to. Huh? He didn't like me making.
Which is weird because you.
He know he country though.
But you country.
But I'm from Louisiana. I'm sorry. Tier 4 light skinned man. Who the fuck is is that a real account? Hold on the fuck on. Click on his account. Is that somebody's soccer account? Please tell me that's somebody's soccer account. You wrong for that. You fucking wrong for that.
Coming to America, Dad.
Is that the Coming to America? I'm not even mad. Not even mad. I got a tan, all right? He's James Earl Jones. Tier 4 light skin. That's probably fucking Hannibal or goddamn Monty doing some shit like that. Because they know I'm supposed to come back on the show and fuck with, what's his name? Goddamn E. Green. I'm just mad. Like, just, okay. I'm supposed to just sit here and cry. I'm supposed to take that? You disrespected me in my chat? I'm just saying. Tier 4 light-skinned man. And they had nerve enough to put the T on it, too. To put the T. It's not even light-skinned, light-skint. I'm triggered. I'm shooketh by that. I ain't even started the damn video yet. God damn. Okay, anyway, folks, let's get on with it. I'm sorry.
Woohoo! Mr. Dragnaught. Or Dragnaught. However you pronounce your name.
It's not fucking hard. It's really not hard. I made this. It's a portmanteau of dragon and dreadnought. It's literally, I combined those two words into one when I was playing Pokemon in the early fucking late 90s. Excuse me. Was it late 90s or early 90s came out? No, Game Freak is 92. Is it late 90s? Whatever. Late 90s. Late 90s, I came up with Dragnaught, okay? When I was like 14 fucking years old. My goodness. My goodness.
14 years old in the
I was 14. Was I? How old was I? No, because I was 13 when I came to North Carolina.
You were.
So I had to have been 14 to 15.
11 or 12, going on 12.
I was playing, no, okay, when I was playing Pokemon in North Carolina, I was like 13, 14, whatever. Anyway, Dragnauct. Like, it's all for naught. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. My own mother from Michigan can pronounce it just as fine. My country-ass stepdaddy from Woodville, Mississippi can pronounce it. He can't pronounce prostate, but he can pronounce my alias, Jesus. It's not that hard. What is this? I'm just saying. Just cut me some slack. Oh.
I left you a comment on your video about me. And I just want you to know that this is what it's all about. And you know, I've had a lot of atheists go to my channel and they only went through the parts that they liked. But
I'm gonna take a wild guess in that they heard you ramble for fucking 50 minutes and couldn't make heads or tails, and so they just said, fuck it, I'm just gonna pick a good spot and just talk about that. If I had to guess, I'm just saying. So who's beat what? Who beat who up?
Cable, speed him up.
Speed him up, please. Y'all gonna suffer today. Y'all gonna suffer. If I gotta sit here and listen to him talk slowly to himself, you know what? Matter of fact, I will speed him up after he explains. Huh?
I like Cable.
You like it? I like him too. But y'all gonna suffer. Y'all gonna suffer. Y'all gonna suffer today. Y'all gonna. I'm trying to look for his action. I'm gonna speed him up. I'm trying to look for it because I saw the comment he left on the other one, and I made so much other bullshit today. I had to go look for it. Okay, here we go. The whatnot. So his comment that he's talking about is, oh god. Okay, his name is D-Roy. D-E-R-O-Y Cruz. D Cruz here, your life applications officer. Thank you for watching and posting my video. This was too entertaining for us both. I agree it was too freestyle. I was going to take it down, then change my mind, hoping you see it, and you did. But if you're trying to use me in an evil way, be careful. And whatnot. Like I don't know what that means, but so Nicholas says that wasn't freestyle, that was a schizophrenic ranting. I don't know what he means, use him in an evil way. I'm gonna mess you country as hell. I'm gonna you know, I don't know what he means by that. And I'm getting real hot with this shirt on, but you know, like, did y'all turn off the air? Because it's hot. I'm gonna speed him up. I think 1.25 is it should be good there. Explain to me what that. Hopefully he explains it here. I have no idea what that means. Use you in an evil way. I mean, if you like doing to you what I do to G-Man, which really ain't that bad, but it's not. Like you got everyone gets views. Everyone's entertained. I don't know what the big deal is, but I don't take this shit that seriously. Not even when I'm going in on people. I was like, I don't really dislike it. Well, some people can go eat a dick, but it's like I don't lose sleep over this stuff. I don't know. I lose sleep because I stay up and I watch Black Mirror and I think about that dude fucking a polar bear. That's why I stay up, because I want to watch the episode. But anyway, I would love to see him and G-Man on a road trip. Who do you think would have whose hand on whose thigh? Okay. Anyway, I'm not gonna be mean. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm not gonna be mean. I'm not gonna be mean. Okay. All right.
You're the first one that went through the whole entire video, if I recall. There might have been a little bit of parts that you skipped over because you didn't like how slow I was going. Again, I left this comment for you that was a freestyle video, and there's a bunch of them on my channel.
My entire channel is fucking freestyle. That's literally all. I don't edit shit. I just talk. Go on now. Trust me, I got it. But I try to make coherent fucking sense. I'm just saying that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse.
Because I'm not trying to impress people. Again, like I said in the video, I'm not trying to impress anybody with my ability to argue. Okay? Now, I'm also a preacher. When I preach sermons in church, I write it all down before I do it. Okay? But even then, I have to stop here and collaborate, look at the time, see what time I want to be done with the sermon, what time they give me, collaborate on what I just said and come back to it like I did in the video. That's just my style. I'm not the only one that does that. A lot of you atheists do that.
What?
Mr. Atheism is Unstoppable does that.
Okay, that's probably the last person you should talk to when it comes to this kind of stuff, especially with your proclivities. I'm just going to throw that out there. There's plenty of other atheists to talk to. I'm just saying.
And he posted a video of mine on his channel, and he didn't bother to post the negative things, if an atheist wants to call it that, of what I said. He decided to just post the fact that I told him, I told the viewers, that out of all the atheists on YouTube, I think he's one that has the most common sense.
Really?
But this Dragnauct Silvez, my country accent,
you country,
ain't real able to pronounce it like you really want me to, Mr. Silvez, Mr. Dragnaught. Okay, my country accent, you're going to have to forgive my country, as you put it, my black country ebonics, okay?
What do you mean, as I didn't say anything about black ebonics at any point in time? Have you heard, I said, I don't know, didn't I say, I could have swole, like, if that's about as black as it gets. I said nothing about black ebonics, that's fucking redundant. Anyway, what did you tag me in, Nicola? What the fuck? Innsmouth look? He's got a touch of the Innsmouth look. What the fuck is this? Is this bitch live or is she dead? What the fuck is that? Nick, where y'all find this shit? Like, no, I have family. Look, dude. Look, I grew up in some pretty interesting areas. One of them being Mississippi for quite a few years. Natchez, Mississippi, Woodville, Mississippi, and there's some country fucking. There's people there. I still don't know their real name. I just know them as Red and Tom and what's that fuck Peanut. Like, I don't know their real names, and their country is you. Pookie. There's a Pookie everywhere. Ray and them. Like, I don't know their real names. I still got a cousin named Maine. I have no idea what Maine's real name is, and he's from Baton Rouge. So I trust. I got it. Look, I got it. When I don't code switch and people hear me, I sound fucking crazy too. But you're country as hell. I'm sorry. You're country as hell. It is hilarious to me. I'm sorry. But I say it in love because I have to speed you up because you talk so fucking slow. And it's just kind of annoying because I can't listen to your normal speed. So, yeah.
Anyway, I remember when my kids were little.
Fuck this got to do with anything?
I remember telling my stepson when he was little, because me and him are the only men in the house. Everybody else, females. You got mom, his sister, and my two girls.
Yes, you have a family.
Okay?
Get on with it. Jesus.
My two biological girls. That's too many women. I said, look, put a shirt on, boy. Unlike you, he didn't go, oh, my titties aren't even showing. What is he talking about? I think he's gay. I think he's, crying and screaming, you know what I mean?
You must have been watching two different videos.
About how much emphasis I put on you doing a video with your shirt off. And I told my stepdaughter, because she has the most children, and she got mostly boys and 2 girls. She got 2 boys and...
Oh, but she got 2 boys and 6 girls, and she drive a Pontiac, a 98 Pontiac, and, you know, she work over there by a plant, and what were we talking about? Just get on with the fuck. Like, what does this have to do with anything? Like, you going on them old man rants where you just forget what you're talking about. Like, this is really annoying. When you start saying, like, you and I had 2 separate conversations, evidently, and I missed the fuck out that one that you're having, because I am already lost. We're not even 5 minutes in the video, and you're telling me about, I have no idea. I don't care. What does this have to do about anything? I listened to just a little bit of your video, like I think up to 7 minutes. I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna watch. I'm fucking do it live. I'm gonna do it live. But yeah, I do actually like his imitations. I like when people like mimic me, especially when I go like exaggerating and shit like that, because it's funny. But it's, what does this have to do about anything? Just please get on with the goddamn story. How is this relevant to, I forgot the original point that you had, because you're now trying to remember how many kids your stepdaughter, who fuck cares? Who cares?
2 boys and 3 girls. Wait, that's wrong. 2 boys and 2 girls. 2 girls. And I told her, whenever I go over the house, I say, put some clothes on them boys. She said, they're boys. I says, put some clothes on them boys. They got sisters.
And
their sexuality is just as vital and private as a woman's sexuality is.
so you had a pool, everybody got shirts on.
Okay, their bodies are just
no
as
water parks, no public showers,
worthy of covering and respect and dignity as their sisters' bodies are. Now, again, this is biblical culture here. You said some things.
Y'all want to know something really ironic? It sound like a lot of what he says kind of sounds like a feminist point. How many of y'all have heard of hashtag free the nipple? Have y'all heard about that, with normalizing women's nipples with men's nipples? That it really sounds like, because he wants that to be equal. He wants the equality on that front. That's actually like a really strong feminist point that was popular like a year ago or something, especially on Twitter and all that other kind of shit. Like that was a thing, and I don't think that he realizes that he's actually supporting that. But maybe he may retract it now that he's heard that. I don't know.
You felt that I was dumb for talking about the issue of men not wearing shirts when they do videos. And I complain about this in every movie I watch. I complain about not only men not being vital about their appearance in public, but women, even women all the more. And I understand men are masculine and women aren't wired like us men are sexually, but still, in my Bible, men are a man's sexuality, a man's public appearance, and a man uncovering himself in any kind of way. In my culture, I don't expect you to understand, Mr. Dragnauct, but in my culture, a man being modest in his apparel is just
okay. So so in movies, it depends on what type of movie you're watching. If you're watching any movie with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, there's a 99.9% chance that there are going to be women in the crowd with vaginas and breasts who want to see him half naked, and that's probably why they're going to see the movie. If I had to guess, I don't think I know a movie where he hasn't like taken off. Like when he takes off his fucking shirt, I need to get my fat ass in the gym. Man, you see that kind of shit? Have y'all seen? How many of y'all seen that dude with his shirt off? I have. The Rock. Dwayne. I'm just saying. Who the fuck cares? Maybe it's just I don't. Okay, here. So this is our second date, Mr. DeRoy, Mr. Cruz. So, as somebody, did you know that I was a combat medic in the Army? Did you know that? Did you know that? I'm going to mention that a lot, by the way. I was that guy who would walk through all the bays with their 60 guys on each side, like ass naked. I don't care. I absolutely don't care. And people would yell because I'm comfortable in my own skin, right? Stretch marks, fat and all. I'm comfortable enough to do that. That's why I'm comfortable enough, even as a fat guy, to be really comfortable right now because my fat keeps me really hot and I have a fan and AC on in Texas. So that doesn't bother me. When I go to movies and I see guys with their shirts off, they're probably hot or they're probably doing a scene where, their shirt got eaten by rabid hookers or something. Anyway, like that's not the point. Like that's the fact that you focus on dudes with their shirts off in the movies is kind of interesting because that's not really something I focus on when I watch movies, but I'm just, maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's just a different fixation there. I'm not you. I don't know.
Just as important as a woman. This is biblical culture. Atheism culture, I can understand where you don't understand. You also said a lot of things on
What is atheism culture? I don't know what that means. Is there a handbook somewhere where I can look up atheism culture? please let me know. Put a link in the description of the video and link me to atheism culture that defines the proper attire, the AR-670-1 of the wear and dress of the atheist uniform in atheist culture for me, okay?
There about the LGBTQ community, that you felt that I was putting too much emphasis in there, and I was, how would you put it, conspiring more homosexuality than existed, or something of that nature. Look here.
What?
You never answered my question. Like a lot of the other atheists who tag my videos. You failed to answer any questions. The question was,
what?
Why is there so much atheists? Why? There's always been atheists. Why is there more atheists now? There's always been atheists. Why is there more now? And why, in the past, were the atheists quiet and that was okay?
Okay, so hold on for a second, folks. I got to about this point, and I'm still confused. When did he ask that question in that video? I just to make sure, because I asked Mrs. Drag, she's sitting, y'all can hear her right now. She doesn't remember him asking that question or anything like that. Do any of y'all remember him asking that question about why there's so many atheists? Literally, does anyone remember that? Those of you who watched the other video, please. This guy is definitely more interesting than Twan. I was going to do a video on Twan, but I can't. Not right now. This guy's too much fun. Please let me know if he ever asked a question like that, because I really don't remember that. And I'm pretty good about when people say stupid shit like that, like I answer it. He says because of indoctrination. So, okay, maybe I missed it. Okay. I thought it was the gay. Yeah, he mentioned about the gays. Like people, he said people were being recruited, other gay recruiters. He talked about gay recruiters, but I don't remember him asking like why there's so many. Maybe he has them confused, because he just jumped from gay shit to atheist shit. So I don't know. I don't know. So this is his freestyle. You need to work on your thought bars or something. I don't know. I couldn't make that work. Dragnauct. So when did Keith David start smoking crack? That's mean. Keith David doesn't have a lazy eye. But so I don't know how to answer your question other than there have always been people who didn't believe, just like there's always been people who have been gay, but now it's kind of more acceptable for them to be out, right? So in a society like Saudi Arabia, you're not going to find too many atheists, even though there's probably a lot of them there, but they can't express themselves because the culture and the climate isn't really conducive toward them living. So, just saying. Oh, my videos turned you gay? No, you were gay before you got here. Don't blame me. So, if you were wondering about that, then you know what? I'll blame myself. My videos, because when I first started, people would send me, oh, I didn't know there was so many black atheists, your story sounds so close to mine, and you're giving me hope, and you know, all the sappy stuff that I don't get anymore from people. It's like, fuck you, Drag, you're a piece of shit, I hate you, you say mean things, and I masturbate with the tears, and that sort of thing. So that's fine. But like that's why, because we had certain folks in certain areas, certain platforms that normalized being atheist. So if I didn't answer your question, which I don't even remember you asking, I'm addressing it now. That's why. There's lots of people, especially if you look in your black history, who didn't believe. Certain civil rights individuals, in particular, ones that were pretty good with writing, hint, 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 who didn't believe, and who liked penis, too. So, they've always been around. Just saying.
But now they need to step up and really persecute the church. Can you answer that question? You never answered my question about homosexuality. Why so many homosexuals now? Back in the day.
Okay, I do remember this, and I thought I addressed it, but I will address this as well. Same answer. People have always liked dick and booty, people have always wanted to go muff diving. It's just that there's actually it's a funny story. There was an atheist that isn't around anymore, and he's gone on to do other stuff. But he actually told us a story that because he grew up in, I guess it'd be your generation, being gay was just such a social faux pas that gay dudes would force themselves to marry women and produce kids, but they ended up becoming alcoholics because they hated themselves, and so they take out their frustrations on, you know, the kids and the wife, and just it was a whole big old mess. And that this dude ended up having some psychological issues because his father was actually gay and was struggling with that, and that came out later. So there's always been gay. Just because you haven't seen them, you haven't realized. There's plenty. I mean, look at just look at all the radical evangelicals that end up, you know, especially like the senators and representatives who are real big on those anti-gay laws, who get caught with, you know, twinks in their office fucking them over the desk. But I'm just saying, they've been here. I'm not sure why folks are so concerned with. That's my thing. That's honestly my thing. Why are you concerned with? Because you seem real fixated. Let me actually correct that. You seem fixated on the sexual aspect of homosexuals. You weren't concentrating on the fact that, okay, these are two dudes and they're having a consensual, loving relationship where they treat each other for fucking love and respect just like a straight couple. You not focusing. You focused on dick and the booty bullshit. You focusing on prostate tickling and shit like that, and dick sucking by the other dude. Like, that's the kind of shit, like the visceral part of the relationship that you mentioned. And I just noticed that every time I see like one of you guys mention that, that's what y'all focus on. And that's weird. If you don't like that kind of thing, why would you focus on the sex and not the actual thing that's not sex, like the stuff that I mentioned before? That's again, I've just noticed a pattern. Every time we have these conversations, it always goes there. But anyway.
Every time there was a homosexual, there was a perpetrator behind them. But now, today, the minute a girl breaks up with her boyfriend, okay, I'm gay. I'm a lesbian. The minute a guy doesn't get along with a girl, okay, he is gay. The minute he don't get along with his parents, or he got bullied in school, you know, having nothing to do with his sexuality or anything like that, he just...
Okay, let me call bullshit on that real quick. So I don't know how many incels are gay. What is this some bitch is divorced? Is he gay? I was thinking that, and I don't know, and I hate to like speculate like that, but just the way that he's kind of animated about this and the divorce and how he's describing this, I'm like, is there a connection there? I don't know. Again, I'm gonna leave that alone. But is it possible that these folks were already gay? I'm just speculating here. Maybe they were previously gay and they were trying to pass themselves off as straight and just said, fuck it. That I've known quite a few gay people who've done that. Quite a few. But if you don't act, here's what's crazy. If you talk to gay people, they tell you these things quite openly and they laugh about it. And then they ask to suck your penis. Like, it's not rocket science. It's really not rocket science. It's really not. We're talking about this like it's so controversial. How many gay people have you sat down and talked to? I'm genuinely curious. You know what? I had an issue with trans folks for a while. But I said, you know what? I need to address my apprehension. My girl, because, you know, we call them trannies, transvestites and stuff growing up. It's like any ignorant ass fucking, you know, teen out there. But I said, I'm an adult now. I know better. And so I made the effort as an adult to go and rectify some biases that I had built up in my youth and put myself in a situation where, you know what, I can talk to this person and treat them like a human being. And there's pictures with me with a trans woman, Mia, goddamn, it's on my Facebook. Mia, I can't remember her last name, but anyway, you know what, she and she asked me some pretty uncomfortable fucking questions. It's hard to get me uncomfortable, but she asked me some pretty uncomfortable goddamn questions, I will admit. But it felt great for me to say, I have addressed that so that I can continue treating them the same way I treat anyone who's heterosexual. But I don't see Christians in particular, you know, go through those lengths to try and understand homosexuals, bisexuals, pansexuals, transsexuals, and the lot. I don't see that. I don't, and that kind of bothers me because I keep hearing about how so superior that you guys are to everyone else, but you won't put yourself in a precarious situation like that. And I call it precarious, but it's really not. Just to treat people fucking like human beings. I know I'm a terrible ass person for doing that, but if you go and ask her about our interaction, I'm pretty sure she'll tell you that I was pretty goddamn open-minded and honest with her, and then she was with me. And so people were able to learn from our exchanges. But just I think it'd be better for somebody else to speak on bisexuality, because I understand that there's an erasure of bisexuality or bisexual people, and I don't know enough about that to speak on it. So I'm honestly gonna have to take a step back from that. I'll reference them, but I'm not gonna step on nobody's toes when it comes to something that I'm not too familiar with. So,
you know what I'm saying? Why now? Why so much of it now compared to yesterday? You weren't around. Like you said, I must be 20, 30 years older than you, I think you said. So you weren't around in the 80s, or you weren't a grown man in the 80s when all these things were different. Homosexuality was quiet. And I got news for you, Mr. Dragnauct. Christians were much more quieter in those days too. Why? Because everything wasn't thrown at us and trying to indoctrinate us. Okay? I just did a video on David Lynn. Okay? Focus on what I'm saying so you don't claim I'm jumping all over the place. I just did a video on Pastor David Lynn. I said that in a video that you tagged. Okay? I don't feel it was right for David Lynn to put so much emphasis of his street preaching on the LGBTQ community, because after all, the LGBTQ community has been legalized and justified by our very country, state, and government, so to speak. Okay? If that's the proper way to explain it. Okay? So it's just as legal as carrying our guns. It's just as legal as the right to own property or whatever. Okay? So there's really nothing a Christian can say about homosexuality except don't bring it in the church. Our goal is not to pick on homosexuals. Our goal is not to pick on people like you that think that, you know, your shirt being off should be the mascot of all your videos. Okay? Our job is not to pick on people like y'all, but you are people of the world. And like I tell, you know, the homosexuals in my family, and like I tell the homosexuals.
No, let me pause him here and just say, okay, cool. And I guess you and I agree on that. I don't think these guys should be going out harassing folks at pride parades and stuff. And honestly, some of the people are obnoxious, and I don't feel bad when somebody kicks them in the ass. But I'm not endorsing violence. I just say, you know what, just, you know, hey, okay. Oh, there's Hogtie. Wrong. Homosexuality was not quiet in the 80s. Not at all. Just because he lived in a bubble doesn't mean that there was that wasn't being discussed openly. So here we go, someone of venerable age that was there as well. So just saying. But you know, I wasn't there, but I heard that people still got down and dirty in those days as well. So I'm just gonna throw that out there.
That I work with and so forth like that. Look here. I'm a member of the kingdom of God. You can do whatever you want to do. No one's forcing you to believe in God. No one's forcing you to be straight. Nobody's forcing you to, you know what I'm saying? But like I was saying about the lady that I was talking about at work. See, I'm summarizing for you. Like I was talking about her, who she told me that she believes that a certain amount of feminism is righteous. And I asked her a simple question. I said, where did feminism come from? And she got upset.
Yeah, because probably because you really weren't answering her question or addressing the topic. So a certain portion of feminism is righteous. Well, however, I don't know how she couched that term, so I can only presume that she said not all feminist ideas in the current incarnation are really worthy of respect and, I guess, promotion or whatever. I'm being very charitable here. So you asking her where it came from isn't pertinent to what she's talking about in the here and now. If you want to go back to the early days of Susan B. Anthony and some of those folks, and cool, awesome, but that doesn't really speak on what she's talking about in the here and now. Because if your first reference to that's like me saying, okay, well, you're a Christian, well, let me go back and just, oh, what about the Crusades, huh? You Christians were so good then. Yeah. I can just throw up a flak wall like that too, but it doesn't address, what you're saying in the here and now, and how Christians are being treated, and what Christians are doing themselves. You see what I'm saying? So when people do that to me in conversations, it's a clear sign that they're trying to obfuscate. It's a clear sign that you don't want to address what the topic is. You want to go down this pathway that is a really weak attempt to poison the well. Like it's a transparent, honestly, tactic that folks use because they can't address what somebody is saying in the context that they're saying it in.
You're wrong. She always tells me I'm wrong before she explains to me, before she answers my question or has a dialogue with me. I'm always wrong. Like, tell me, answer the question. Why is there so much feminism now? Why is there so much homosexuality now? Why is there so much transgenderism now?
Okay, so people have seen as time goes on. Actually, it's funny. Let's play a game. Let's jump back in time 10 years, and let's do that a few times. And so at each increment of 10 years, I want you to kind of gauge the level of social awareness people had, and how the rights people had. Let's about gays and different types of minorities, and let's jump a few times. Oh, okay, cool. Everything's cool. Oh, let's jump again. Okay, cool. Oh, hold on for a second. Oh, we run into some issues. Housing. Oh shit. Oh, right to vote. Oh shit. So it's interesting that as we go further and further in time, more and more minority groups are starting to kind of gain a voice, because people have seen that, oh, well, this gold era that people like to reference in American history only really benefited a very small segment, I say small segment, a very specific segment of the U.S. population. They weren't atheists, they weren't homosexual, or anything other than really straight white guys with money. It really didn't benefit too many other folks outside of that. So people look back in the past and they go, you know what? We need to swing that pendulum all the way the opposite way. And so now we get where we are now, where folks are wearing pussy hats and shit. So like that's what happens. With the access to the internet, people can have a not just a glimpse of the past, that we can see in full detail, given our access to information. And so now you have folks trying to undo every social wrong that's out there. So now, we're recognizing people of color. Oh wait, just the other day, using people of color, racist black folks. So I can't say people of color anymore, because that's not supposed to include black people, because someone on Jezebel wrote a blog and they had an epiphany, and so now they're super duper super saiyan woke, and I stopped keeping up with that shit. I don't care. But so my point is, yes, as time goes on, we want to make sure that just because somebody is a guy and he wants to sleep with another guy and he doesn't want to be a Christian, he has the same rights as a guy who sleeps with women who is a Christian. It's not that hard. That's really it. People kind of said, you know what? Us having these really weird, back in your day, you probably remember the PSAs on how to identify a homosexual. I've seen those videos, and they're fucking disgusting. Like, they really disgust me. If no one's actually if you folks in the audience, if y'all have never actually watched the PSA, I think it's back in the 40s. It's maybe 40s or 50s. It's in black and white, and it talks about how to spot a homosexual. And it has a guy, oh, Jimmy's playing in the yard. Oh, Mr. Rogers coming over to greet him. oh, he's gonna get him in the car. You know, it's like it's one of those kind of commercials or PSAs, let's say, and it's trying to train people on how to report homosexuals, and it's just absolutely terrible by today's standards. And we don't do that shit anymore. And I asked him if he could even swim in my state back in the day. He knows. Well, he knows. Like, it's really weird when I see these guys talk about how things used to be, and it's like, you and me wouldn't have had much of anything back in them days. So if you're trying to reverse the hands of time, don't pick and choose what you want to bring back and what you want to keep. You know, like, I'm just saying. It's if you really want to do that, I don't think you do. Just let me put it like that. I don't think you do.
People are indoctrinated into this garbage. Sorry, I shouldn't have said garbage on the Atheist channel. I'm sorry.
Yep, Sabella found it.
This is a typical cafe in West London. Tim comes here often to study in the morning. There is nothing better than a good cup of tea to start the day off on the right foot.
I believe it was made in America.
A man asks if they can share a table. Sure, says Tim. No problem at all. Mother always says it's important to be polite. The stranger says his name is Frank, and soon enough they start a friendly conversation. Frank seems to have a great sense of humor, and it doesn't take long before he wins Tim's confidence. Frank seems like a fine man. What Tim doesn't know is that Frank is a homosexual, a man who is physically attracted to people of the same sex. This highly dangerous, highly contagious disease affects thousands of youngsters every year. Tim doesn't realize he is in grave danger. But how does one recognize a homosexual? As a matter of fact, homosexuals present no physical symptoms. They may look normal and healthy, but don't be deceived. If a man dresses too smartly or cares too...
Okay, so am I the only one who looks like is this Kyle's like ancestor? Is that too mean? Like this I'm sorry, this dude reminds me a lot of Kyle's. I'm not even trying to be mean. I'm like, that really looks like the guy. Okay, I'm gonna play. Okay, I'm sorry.
Too much about the latest trend, he may be a homosexual. If a man doesn't have a firm handshake, there's a good chance he is a homosexual.
I'm just saying, that's enough of this shit. I'm sorry. This is just terrible. This is just fucking terrible. If he doesn't, G-Man doesn't have a firm handshake. What does that say? What's that? You got a better hand. What is that? You need a limper wrist, dear. Limper. There you go. Limp that. Okay, there you go. What kind of shit is this? They display no outward symptoms of the disease. Like, the fuck? Are they supposed to be like leaking semen from their pores? Like, what are you? I don't know. Anyway, this is so weird.
People are indoctrinated into this. And how are they indoctrinated in it? Come on, man, wake up.
Tell me.
Think about Ellen DeGeneres. I just was in the
what?
store. Where was I at just now? I was in the store watching the video that you did on me. And there was a magazine standing on a post next to me talking about Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh.
Talking about her life story. Well, hold up. How many times have I heard Ellen DeGeneres' life story?
Who the fuck listens to Ellen
and
anymore?
Bruce Jenner came out.
Oh my God.
They got really religious about it.
They've gotten religious about coming out? Like, what does that even mean? Are you serious? Like, I don't understand this. So hold on. For those of you who don't know, my little brother's gay. Like, there's 4 of us. I'm the oldest boy. The second oldest is gay as hell. But no one like he was listening to Beyonce. Like that was I used to fuck with him. Like, why are you listening to Beyonce? I liked it, so I was like, okay. But he was actually gay, and he still is gay. He's gay as hell. But no one recruited him. He knew from a young age, because he and I sat and talked about it. It was like, yeah, he knew since he was like 8 years old that he was attracted to little boys. Other boys. Not that really phrasing. Yes. But, the same time we knew that we were attracted to girls, he knew he was attracted to boys. There was no one who came by and, hey, yeah, so you got a little brother there. He might want to join our club. When have you come across a gay recruiter? I want to see a gay. What do they look like? I want to see the uniform. I've run across so many Ellen DeGeneres magazines over the years. I stopped paying attention to them because I don't look at magazines anyway. But how many magazines of Ellen DeGeneres do you have to see before you start thinking like, you know what? I've seen some dicks and they look pretty fucking tasty. None of this makes sense. None of this where do you get this shit from? That's what I want to understand. None of the gay people I've ever spoken to said, I read an Ellen DeGeneres magazine, all of a sudden I started just liking cock. Who says shit like that? Please, find me a gay person that says some shit like this. Please do. Because it sounds like you're just making shit up as you go along. Well, I see people who are gay and they're talking about, I see people who are straight talking about their life story. But here's the funny thing. Are there gay people being converted when they see Arnold Schwarzenegger talk about his life? No. Oh, okay. Well, so it only happens this one way. So let me see this phenomenon. I like science. I want to know the mechanism of action on how to make me desire penis in my mouth. Explain to me in great graphic detail, a la Tommy Hall, on how this actually works. Because you just sound ignorant as hell. I'm going to be honest with you. You sound ignorant as hell. A magazine in a store cause somebody to change their entire sexual orientation. I don't care how much Barney you have to watch. Ain't nothing changing me from liking women's and what women got. So how many magazines do you have to read in order to turn you gay? That's what I want to know. Because I'm guarantee you'll tell me none. There's no number of magazines that would do that. Oh, okay, but for some reason other people are susceptible to this. I don't get it.
Jenner decided to go drag. They got really, really religious about it. They put him in magazines, said he was the most beautiful woman in all the world. He stood up for the transgender community and all like that. If that's not indoctrinated, if that's not indoctrination, I should say, you tell me what is.
How about being in a goddamn military where you're actually indoctrinated? As someone who's actually gone through an indoctrination program, right? People use that word and they think that that's a cool buzzword to use in these conversations, right? Something tells me you've never actually gone through real life indoctrination. And when I mean real life indoctrination, where they take who you are as a person and break you. And I mean constantly, do you get no respite? And they break you down to your lowest point and then instill within you day after day after day after day what you will be and what you'll look like and what you will desire. That is a harrowing experience. And that's part of the reason why I actually lose sleep at night. But this bullshit about indoctrination because there's magazines on a goddamn shelf in a store, are you kidding me? Are you really kidding me? Come on, man. At least have some ability to be real with me, because you can't be serious now. That's absolutely fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Because whether you go to the people or you put that indoctrination where everybody everybody's going to read it or
so
watch.
You don't place an indoctrination somewhere. No, an indoctrination is a system. It is a system that someone is inundated with for a specific period of time. You don't walk past something and get indoctrinated. That's not how indoctrination works at all. That right there tells me you're using that word, but you don't know what it means.
On TV or whatever, it's indoctrination. There's indoctrination everywhere. There's indoctrination on television. There's indoctrination in magazines. There's even indoctrination on Xbox 360, PlayStation. What are we on now? PlayStation 4. There's indoctrination everywhere. I played video games that I had to get rid of because they were trying to indoctrinate my kids into, you know, the sexual revolution that we don't practice in a church. And what's up with all these movies? Even the last Punisher movie. I watched the Punisher movie. I also seen the Triple X movie where they put a teenage girl in there. He actually made love to the teenage girl in the Triple X movie. And the one Triple X movie where he had to save the teenage girl. He actually screwed the teenage girl, if I remember correctly. The last Punisher movie I watched, he walked around, he ended the movie for the last 4 episodes of the ending of that season, or if it was the last season, I don't recall because Netflix stopped right there. He spent all this time with this teenage girl, or this girl posing as a teenage girl. This is the world that you live in, Mr. Dragnauct.
This is the world that and I could have swore that you and I got the same Netflix, so I'm not sure how this Netflix exists in different worlds. But okay, so because someone on a TV show who has very little morals and self-control does something that most normal folks wouldn't do, that somehow is like, so it by that token, is the Punisher also encouraging people to go become vigilantes? Because if we follow, let's actually follow this line of logic according to you. So if an unstable person who is a vigilante is displaying increasingly antisocial behaviors and is remarked as being so volatile that they cannot work with any of the other people who are actually trying to help whatever the fictional universe we're talking about, we're supposed to take in their sexual proclivities, but somehow not the other antisocial behaviors there. Or is it that we understand when we're watching this that is a work of fiction? But maybe that's the disconnect, that is a work of fiction, and that is a person that you're not supposed to be emulating, and that they juxtapose an anti-hero with real heroes to tell a different narrative, because the narrative of a hero sometimes gets stale and boring. Maybe I just missed the whole purpose of that character, or maybe I just actually understand how that character works within that whole, comic universe. I don't know. I can't wait till you complain about Deadpool, who is a parody character who is literally made to be as wild and crazy and dysfunctional as he could possibly be, but people still love him. I don't know what to tell you, honestly, other than welcome to reality. That is a work of fiction. You should be able to tell fiction from reality. Again, we're talking about movies. If you go into that movie looking to instill social values in people, then I think you're going to movies for all the wrong reasons. If there's maybe if there was a system that we put in place so that kids would be precluded from those. Oh wait, we do have that. So movies displaying things like that, where adults who can tell a difference between fiction and nonfiction won't have to be in the same theater with kids. Yeah, I mean, it's just the points that you're making seem really stupid just on the face of it. But then when we actually sit down and think about it, you don't even follow them all the way through with respect to some of the other attributes that you're mentioning here, right? So as a Christian man, I'm wondering why you were even going to go see those movies in the first place, honestly. Because if that doesn't represent what you believe, because it tells you in the description they're rated R and what they're about. And if you've seen the other movies and the other shows and you know about Frank Castle and kind of the things, and I mean, you can go and look this stuff up. Why, as a Christian man, are you watching this to begin with? Maybe you can answer me that. Riddle me that. So, but you're not of the world, but you're somehow partaking in the world, and then you're confused and angry and upset that, well, maybe not that. You're concerned about what's out in the world, but you're not a part of it. That's really interesting.
This is the world that you live in. And this stuff doesn't stop at television. I saw a young man claiming to educate my kids on the street. My girls, my precious girls on the street, back when they was in high school. I drove up in the car. Thank God I had one back then. I drove up in the car. I said, "Who's he?" They said, "Oh, that's our friend." "Oh, really? How old is that dude?" Oh, he's just a guy. He's a football coach way across at one of the other schools. So in other words, I'm not going to see this guy this often. But yet he's showing up at Kogo's every day, meeting my girls out in front of Kogo's. I tell you what, I was on the job then. I told my boss at work, I'm going to be out here a little bit early. I was getting to Kogo's super early to get my daughters. The dude, thank God, because he's a big dude, I don't want to fight him. But thank God he caught on after a while that I don't really want you, dude, hanging out around my girls. It doesn't look right. It doesn't sound right. Why should I trust you? You're not my friend. You're not my relative. You're not my brother, my cousin. You're not anything to my girls but some dude, okay, that looks like he's looking for attention. You're going to use teenage girls to do it. Like, I got to protect my family, man. Does that make me a bigot?
If he was a coach, was he scouting them for a sport? Like, what was the nature of the relationship? Like, I have no idea. You're telling me that for one thing, I'm wondering, like, if I'm gonna try to be as respectful as I can with this. So I knew that when my parents told me to stay away from folks, I stayed away from them. My parents didn't have to guard me to do stuff like that. But I know it's different for guys and girls. I'm not going to ignore that. But something doesn't seem right about this story. There seems like there's a lot being left off here. Now, is it strange for a grown man, even if he's a coach, to be at this place where there's high school girls? I guess it depends on the place. I have no idea what Coco's is. I have no idea. Is that a bar or is that a juice shop or something? I have no idea. But so, what were they talking about exactly? Because I mean, if it was something nefarious, it's hard to kidnap two people. I'm just saying. No idea, but anyway.
A hater? Does that mean I don't love my daughters? I don't trust my daughters because I want to keep this guy away from them? Especially being he's not a friend of mine. He's only concerned about my daughters?
Maybe he was, because I know a lot of old school guys who will see, two young black girls kind of just, in the area, and if it's somewhere that they go, they will stay near them to make sure that there's nobody over there messing with them. I know guys like that. And that's, again, with that old school mentality, because they have female relatives and stuff happen to. But did you actually go up and talk to the guy to see his intention? Because you can say that there was something nefarious going on, but to the same token, like I know guys in both in your scenario and his scenario. So you don't know what's going on, and he's not your friend. Did you try and be his friend? Were you Christian-like and brotherly to someone? Because he could have been a man of God, and you don't know that. What if he was a Christian man, and he was trying to make sure that they were doing the right thing at all times? Because it doesn't sound very Christian-like to me. Nope, sounds like you're being very judgy.
And see, what you don't understand, Mr. Dragnauct, is our criticism of this world starts in the house of God first. Oh yeah, we do have people in the house of God that are child molesters. We do have people in the house of God that got one thing on their mind when they come around your wife, and they call in your wife, their sister in the Lord. Oh yeah, we got people like that in the church. But see, the difference between us and your atheist community is that it says it even in the scriptures that discipline starts in the house of God. So before you ever seen anybody in the house of God go out there and practice sexual assault or murder, or he was a pervert, or he was gay and he was going around molesting little boys or whatever, I got news for you. There's already been over 100 Christians that excommunicated themselves from him. There's already been a whole bunch of people that was like, he need to go to church somewhere else. He don't look like he fits in here.
So you mean that when there are atheist groups and someone is charged with sexual assault or harassment, that we don't address that too. I could have swore that there was recently, in the last few years, quite a few scandals involving that and people being ostracized. So I'm not. How's that different again? I must have missed that.
We're about the kingdom of God. People like me, people like David Lynn, I won't say Gmail. I said it again. I'm sorry for my country ebonics. G-Man.
Ain't got shit to do with country ebonics. You said you're trying to refer to G-Man, a person, and you said Gmail, an emailing system. Those are two separate fucking things. I'm sorry. There's nothing to do with ebonics. That's just you fucking up and just trying, like, how do you talk this slow and fuck up that much? Like, I see when people like talk fast and they trip over their words, but you talk slow as I had actually have you sped up because you talk so goddamn slow and you still mess up. How's that possible? What do you, I need to see you preaching one day and watch you call you know, I don't know. I don't even have a joke for that. It's late. G-Man. It's not ebonics. Go look up what ebonics is. I use ebonics. Was it translation? Out religion forces us to socialize, whereas atheism, secularism promotes it naturally. Yeah, there you go. Drag, you know he's using slang. That's not fucking slang. Quit saying that. Gmail and G-Man ain't fuck. Let me look up at AAVE Gmail. I'm pretty sure I won't find anything. Come on now.
I won't say G-Man and I because I said G-Man and I too many times in the last video. You look like you was getting a hard on there. You look like you was getting a little.
I look like I was getting
hard up there. You put your shirt on, and I was like, that's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about. And then you took it off, and you started, you know. I don't know. It looked like a set of boobs kind of popped up in front of you. You was getting a little. I don't know what you was doing there, but looked like you was getting a little excited because I kept saying G-Man and I. But so I won't say G-Man and I, Mr. Dragnauct. I'll say people like me, David Lynn and G-Man, my boy over there at What Do You Mean? Okay. I don't know. And again, a vigilant Christian, I'm only going by the last video of his that I watched. I'm not going by a history.
It's not even a history. Like, he literally made 3 videos like within the same week, crying that he had fucked up again. He promises and promises this time that he's really going to leave and not come back. Well, no, sorry, next week. I promise. I'm going to really leave this time, guys. Like, I even have a review of me like laughing at it because he keeps doing it and people keep going, oh, that's okay, you messed up, I know. Like, he's made 3 videos back to back. Like, how do y'all people not see this? Like, you're just feeding him. Come on. Why are you so concerned with my, if it bothers you so much, watch my videos the same way everyone else. Like, people watch, or I should say people tune into my shows and videos like a podcast. They just listen to it. They don't actually fucking look at me half the time, and that's fine. I prefer people to do that because I do silly shit that's distracting. So just listen to my voice and quit. Like, you still like I got a hard on. How would you know how hard my dick is? I'm sitting down. It's not poking me in the goddamn shin. You see me skeeting up in my own ear? Like, how would you know if I'm getting a hard on? That's some weird shit.
Of the Vigilant Christian. I've only been into his channel steadily for 2 years. So you're welcome to fill me in. And the reason why I talked about if G-Man is gay is because I know that G-Man is not gay while he's preaching the gospel.
He's not gay while he's
preaching. But I heard from a lot of your buddies and the Hebrew Israelites that they kept calling G-Man gay, and G-Man did a video about it. And it wasn't anything that he did acting out in the video. He just talked about it. He said he was sick and tired of people attacking him, and he said that he already paid some people back. He showed proof of it, and that everybody better be careful. And I'm telling you, same thing. Because as much as I appreciate you taking my video and putting it on your channel, this is what I want people to do. And hopefully out of maybe 100 subscribers, somewhere within 100 of your subscribers, I know you have many, many more, but somewhere within 100 of your subscribers, somebody saying, hey, the gospel is being preached. Even though they're laughing with you, they're understanding the criticism and all like that that's coming out of your mouth. Okay, and again, that was a freestyle video. I was just spitting because I came home from work.
I don't, okay, look, so I'm tired of hearing that excuse. I don't script anything in my videos. When I do a review, there's no notes here for me to respond to. But the majority of the videos that I review, the vast majority, I've not actually watched. I tried to watch your first one, but I kept falling asleep because you're boring. And I was sleepy, and it was 2 o'clock. But like, that's not an excuse. That's just get better. That's honestly all you can do, because I was terrible. When I could do a 3-hour monologue and talk about G-Man, and it's nothing, none of that scripted. Like when I first started, yeah, I had I'd say, you know, just to be, I had like little sticky notes that I'd put up here that you like people couldn't see, and then I would try and like just write like a mini thesis on it, or little tidbits here and there, like bullet points, and then just freestyle off of that. But eventually I got to the point where I didn't need that, and I could just talk, and it doesn't sound like ass, and people don't have to speed me up. But you know, it takes practice. I'm tired of AIDS Andre 3000. That's mean as hell. I might actually, you know what? I'm gonna let Hannibal and Monty know about this cat. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna let E Green know. E Green, come get your people. So, yeah, just wow.
Work, I was bored. I turned on my video, boom, G-Man, and you with your shirt off, looking kind of queer, talking about G-Man and all the stuff that other people were saying about him.
Like a queer.
But what you should be saying is, you should be talking about what his channel is about. His channel is not about his sex life. It's not about his love life.
It's not. You goddamn right. So I'm sorry. If you're like, have you not looked at my fucking channel? Like literally, if you go to my goddamn channel, I review his videos. Where do you think I get the claims from? I play his fucking videos, dude. Are you serious? I met the dude and he started fucking touching me. And not to mention, you even said the Black Hebrew Israelites acknowledged it. Do you know this dude would go up and put hands on them and rub their bellies and shit like that? Don't believe me? Go ask him. His Christian brothers had to tell him to stop doing that because he did it one time and the dude fucking pushed him. Now, I don't know about you, but a grown man comes up and starts rubbing on your belly like you're a fucking pregnant woman, you probably gonna put hands on him, and you're well within your right to do that. That's the kind of funny shit that G-Man likes to do. I have videos, you can go back on my channel, everyone here has seen them, where he's touching and feeling on me, and I have to kind of not fucking punch him in the throat, because that's just not cool with me. So, he can tell me all day long that he likes women while he ain't got one, and he's touching on me, and there's video of it, and then there's recordings of other people he's putting hands on. You can say what the fuck you want, alright? When the dude starts talking about the Dragnauct loves me, Dragnauct loves me not. Dragnauct loves me, Dragnauct loves me not. Be honest with yourself. Have you ever seen a straight man do some shit like that? I'm just saying. That's some funny shit to me. Now, if he's gay, he's gay. That's fine. He should probably stop talking shit about gay people. But there's some questionable shit that he does. Some really questionable shit that I have to wonder. Maybe he's just stupid. Maybe that's just it. He just likes to touch dudes, and that's part of him being stupid. Whatever, okay? But, hey, when I make claims, I bring receipts. I'm just saying, if you want me to review the content on his channel, then I already have. Literally go, if you see any video that says drag reviews, and you'll see a little icon on them, if it's an icon with G-Man on it, it's more than likely about G-Man. That's the, I don't categorize my videos, so I put captions on them in the title, and I change the thumbnails based on what it is. I tried to change the thumbnail to you doing something silly, but it wouldn't work, so I had to change it later. But it's easy, and if you look at the title, this is a trick, it's a pro tip. If you look at the title after the vertical bar, it's the same title of the G-Man video. So you can go to his channel and see what I'm reviewing. It's not rocket science. It's literally not rocket science. So I don't know how else I can review his stuff other than do it the same way that I do yours. Anyway, G-Man is straight as long as you look at the bell curve from the Z-axis. Oh, okay, you're funny, Wuji. Look at you being educated and shit.
It's not about how many jobs he lost or him getting fired or having to move out or he's broke and having trouble paying his rent or any of that. His channel is all about preaching the gospel of Christ. So if, like I tell people who criticize these prosperity preachers and stuff like that, look here, man. There's no law that says a Christian cannot be rich. And there's no law that says that a Christian is an idiot if he becomes homeless. Because he don't really have control over that all the time either.
In this case, yes, he does. I'll tell you what, Mr. Cruz, how about you go through, we can give you a playlist. We can just give you an entire playlist of how his own stupidity made him homeless. And we'll let you draw that conclusion. Now, you can say that, you know what, he's an unfortunate victim of circumstances, but there were many steps. I don't know what it is about this community and people not securing shit in writing, but there were things that he could have done as an adult to make sure that he was protected, and he didn't. And he got mad because I said something that I've been saying shit about him. So I don't know why he thought he got mad because he was a little cold, and I laughed at his ass. Well, he laughed at me a number of times for all types of shit he thought was going on in my life. So I'm not sure why I can't reciprocate that. That's what I don't understand. I can't be mean to people, but people can say mean shit to me. I feel like that's not fair. That's okay. I'm used to it. But I have talked about the stuff that he does. I have this in respect to his ministry. I have said that he has not brought a single person to Christ. And I maintain that. I actually know people he's pushed away from Christ. You want to meet them? We can arrange that. So I don't think he has a ministry. I think he has a YouTube channel for his own fucking ego, and he puts on the airs of being a Christian, but he's not really trying to live that Christian life. I don't think he's about that life. I'm just saying. He's good at making atheists. That's about it. He's not deconverting any Black Hebrew Israelites. He's not converting any atheists. He's just there to toot his own goddamn horn, and that's it. Which is fine. You know what? Hi, my name is Dragnauct, but just be honest with yourself about that shit. You need to play one of the mini clips of G-Man insisting he's not on the internet to preach the gospel. Oh man, let me get one of those. I'm actually curious how Mr. Cruz would treat that video, since he's a fan of G-Man.
So when people do videos, instead of tapping into their personal life, what you need to focus on is what is their message. Their message is not parked outside in front of their house. Their message is not their wife or their kids, or who's gay or who's not gay, or what.
Yeah, Mr. Cruz, these suggestions are awesome. Matter of fact, I agree with you. Maybe you could tell him not to fucking do that his goddamn self. This is a funny thing because you mentioned that he gets too personal with folks. Maybe, and this is just me, maybe if G-Man didn't get personal with folks wouldn't do it to him. I know this is a new concept for a lot of people. I'm pretty sure it's not a new concept for you, but if he doesn't want to go there with folks, maybe he shouldn't fucking do that. Because he's not going to get everybody because there's a lot of people who come across, and you might be one of them, every few years folks come around, oh, he's a little slow, oh, you got to be patient with him, he doesn't know what he's doing. No, he does good and goddamn well. He's fully fucking aware, and he doesn't give a shit because he's a malicious little fuck. And so he learned dealing with me that I will get in his ass. So when he wants to cross that line, I will be there to put my foot in his ass. So G-Man was the unstoppable force, and he met me. There ain't no immovable object. It's just Dragnauct. He met Dragnauct, and he didn't go nowhere. That's done. Does G-Man sympathize with NIFB movement? He identifies with some of their stuff, but he wouldn't call himself a member. There's this certain like the anti-gay stuff that he identifies with, but it kind of depends on which tenets of NIFB that you ask about, but he's not actually part of their movement. So
problems that they had with their family way back in the past, or what they were before they became Christian. Because see, what you're doing, Mr. Dragnauct, when you focus on trying to skip past the message and go to that person's personal life, what you're doing is you're trying to evade the point. Okay? Because you see, if I go in my wallet, okay? If I go in my wallet, all right, and I hand you a $5 because I heard you talking about you was broke, or I saw you ask somebody for money and they didn't want to give it to you. I got $5 here. That's my message. This $5 bill
on it.
So if I'm giving you this $5 bill, my message, what's that got to do with whether or not I'm gay, or whether or not I'm a bigot of gays, or whether or not I got a beautiful wife, or I got kids that are gay, or I got kids that don't love me, or I used to be a drug addict, or I used to be this, used to be that, and it doesn't matter if Jesus Christ delivered me from that stuff.
It sounds like he's talking about himself. Do y'all get the feeling like he's referencing his own life in these examples? I get the feeling he's referencing himself. I mean, just a little bit, just kind of, sort of, maybe I think that's the case. But I'm kind of starting to feel sorry for him a little bit. Like, look, I get your point. I absolutely agree with you that it should be less personal. I would prefer it not to be. But the problem is, when we start talking about his actual arguments, and maybe you're new to my channel, I have a lot of videos, I know. I think I reached over 1,000 videos like a few months ago. If you want me to direct you to specific videos where I address his stupid, inane, ridiculous arguments, I can do that. That's not a problem. But unfortunately, he wants to focus on what I'm doing in my life, when I'm fucking my wife, when I'm spending time with my kid, me looking at a sister on Facebook. Like, he wants to focus on all kind of stupid shit. So guess what? I respond to it since he wants to go there. I don't purposely go out and look at personal shit in his life because his life is not that. His life is boring. Like, no one wants to be him. His like I wouldn't wish his life on my worst enemy. But he likes to go there, so I go there in kind. Just saying. Did he just say Jesus delivered him from a beautiful wife? I guess. Maybe it was her blessing. I don't know. It could. Is that how that works? I think that's how it works. So, what does the sister look like, Viva? So,
you want this $5 or not?
If you go in the dictionary, Viva, and you look up hood rat, she's right underneath it.
Because this $5 is not religious. Of course. Well, this one don't have the all-seeing eye of Horus on it. Most dollar bills have. Well, the dollar bill has all-seeing eye of Horus on it. But there are religious symbols on the dollar bill. I was going to show you that. But this is a 5, so I guess it doesn't have it. But anyway. Do you want this $5 or not? It's not about. And only atheists do this. And the Hebrew Israelites. Because there is no spirit in them.
So only atheists go to personal stuff like that. So are you telling me that we can't give you maybe a playlist of G-Man doing exactly what you're talking about? Well, I'll tell you what. You go underneath your video there, and there's an entire playlist of him doing all these types of stuff. So I would like for you, in your free time, when I know you're a busy man, peruse that playlist and just take a look at some of the stuff that he's done and possibly amend your statement. Just saying. Again, you're new. You may not know. I know people don't see everything. It's fine. But it's been provided.
Okay, of God in them. They are no more than black atheists who want to use the Bible as a way to claim that black people are superior above all other races.
I actually agree with you on that.
But really, though, they're just as naked as you are.
I'm not naked.
They're just as perverted as you might be.
Maybe.
And I'm going by the stuff you said on your channel.
Like what? What did I say? What did I say?
Worrying about how I express something. And what was your point? Just in closing, I'm gonna say this. What was your point? I'm glad you did it because hopefully I'll get some subscribers.
Sure,
even
cool.
though
I hope
fine
people
with little
subscribe
because,
to you.
like I said in that video there, I'm not looking for attention, and I'm not here to fit arguing with all these different atheists into my schedule. And I know you went to my channel and all like that, and I was so blessed to see you go through my channel and find some things that you might want to watch and learn something from. That's good. But if you think that every word that comes out of my mouth is just for your entertainment, you're not hurting my feelings because you're just being an atheist. That's what you are. Okay? You can tell yourself that's a good thing all you want to. But if every time somebody preaches the gospel, you got to go behind them and talk about their personal life like you're doing G-Man, talking about his personal life, who cares? Because if he wasn't preaching the gospel, you wouldn't have cared about his personal life. If he had been an atheist and he was having the same problems as G-Man, you wouldn't have went behind him and worried about his personal life.
Now that's, my sir, you are motherfucking wrong. You must not seen the other videos I did today. You might want to check your motherfucking self on that right now. I went in on some motherfuckers today. Atheist and agnostic, gay and straight. If you think that I reserve my criticism for just Christians, you are wrong. Excuse me, you are wrong. I went on a black Hebrew Israelite the other day. It don't matter to me. It really doesn't. Do you think that I don't go in on other people? Sir, my good man, go to the last few videos that I did today and go just skim through it. Skim through it. You can even tell, like, the images aren't even the same. The thumbnails, the titles aren't even the same. No, sir. I am in the midst of criticizing agnostic and an atheist. So please, don't try me with that. Maybe you ran across some atheists who are just maybe trying to make you out of a lost cow. And trust me, I see the potential in you. I see it. But no, I'm not. Look, I've been doing this for a little while. Let me pop my metaphorical collar here. I know that there are atheists who do shit like that, and they won't criticize, another atheist because they're part of Team Atheism and they need to have a solid front and all other bullshit. That's not me. My policy is fuck everybody. Hashtag fuck everybody. If you're doing something stupid, you need to be called out. If I'm doing something stupid, call me out. It is what it is. Everybody can get it. Everybody can catch these hands. That's the policy around these parts. And yes, sir, if folks want to subscribe to you, I implore them, please go and subscribe. You put out some funny shit to me. It's slow and it's boring sometimes, but it's pretty fucking funny. So yes, obviously, maybe I don't know how many subscribers you have. I really don't care. But okay, maybe you're less than 200 subscribers or go and sub me. I don't know, whatever. But awesome. We can get a dialogue going. But I am less interested in some of these people's lives and more into the stupid shit that they say. Like the stuff that you say, like, I'm going to be honest with you. Your conception of what you think homosexuality is and its manifestations and how it spreads, absolutely wrong on every level. Like, I don't know where you learned any of this stuff from, but it's obviously not anything remotely. There are people in fields right now who have PhDs, who work with other people in other countries studying these sort of things on some of the softer sciences that I can refer you to. Some of this education stuff that can set a lot of this stuff straight. Because I don't know where in the hell you got half of these ideas from. But they're wrong. They're wrong. They're wrong. Hi, Shani. But, my man, we can have a dialogue. And I'm not interested in really what your background is. In fact, every time you start mentioning, you start going on these tangents about your daughter and her kids, it's like, okay, that's cute. You know, you got that's fine. I would rather not talk about that. But G-Man is a special case, a basket case specifically, and he likes to get personal with folks, so I feel the need to reciprocate. That's all. That's all. I really don't do that for other people unless I really, I don't really care for them. If they get personal with me, they get personal with other folks, then I'll get into their ass. But I don't feel that need with you. Other than you talking country as hell because that's funny to me. That's different. That's just me poking fun, just like you poke fun at me being naked and mentioning my chest and how you lust after me with those glaring eyes, one slightly off kilter, looking into the kitchen as the other looks into the camera. But that's fine. You opened your collar a little bit because you're getting a little heated during this conversation, looking at my videos, staring at my chest. It's all right. I understand. There are people who actually watch my videos with the sound off and masturbate. No, I didn't make that up. No, someone actually did tell me that. That is actually true. That's a thing. So some of these videos, yes, I do it purposely, and I'll aim it down just so they can masturbate. That's how good of a host I am. Maybe one day you'll get fans like that and not be weirded out, because I think it's fucking hilarious.
And this is what these atheists do. And for your information, I've only been on YouTube since 2013. Okay? And I said that in the video. I don't lie. Okay? But what was your point? You know what I'm saying? You didn't offer to, now, well, wait, you did. I take that back. You did say some things that I'm blessed to know that I'm glad. Because I said those things, and I say the things that I do the way I do, because I want you to have that kind of reaction. I want you to never ever forget that I said it. Because in my life,
I'm going to be honest, I don't remember what the fuck he said. I have no idea what he's talking about. He said a bunch of shit. I have no idea what he's talking about right now. As he started doing this, when I'm like, who the fuck he talking to? I'm like, I'm just looking around. But, and that's fun. Like, I like when people imitate me, but I have no idea what he's talking about right now. I'm hoping he actually tells me. And I go, oh, okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
as a Christian, the things that hurt, I'll never forget. The things that made me laugh so hard, I couldn't keep my saliva inside my mouth, I'll never forget them. And the things that totally, that are just totally confusing. They were confusing back then, but they're not confusing now, because if they were good for me, after a while I caught on and understood where I needed to humble myself and understand that it's not about me, and it's not about my church. It's not about my belief versus another Christian's belief. But it's about the truth of God's word. The Bible teaches us not to take authority over our own people. The Bible teaches us to humble ourselves enough to say, oh, really? Explain it to me. An atheist would be disqualified as an atheist if he told anybody except some atheist that's going into colleges making more money than him to say, oh, really? Explain it to me. You're not going to do that.
Actually, the vast majority of my instructors are Christians, just so we know, just so we're clear on that. By the way, I'm in Texas, so it's kind of with the exception of very few, like almost all of them, especially my former mentor, actually tells students that he used to be an atheist, and how he's a little kooky, but how his exploration into the sciences and obtaining his PhD led him into being a Christian. So again, let's probably not assume this narrative that all people in universities are atheists. There's a strong concentration of them. Of course, there's the trope about, the more education you have, the more likely you are to not be a Christian. But that's not to say that, if you're a Christian, you're stupid and, uneducated. That's not necessarily true. So take that with a grain of salt.
Do that. Because you're of the world system. You are extremists, radicals of the Babylonian system.
What?
Of the world secular, oversexed, pagan system. And that's just the way it is. It's not a matter of, oh, okay, let's go behind him and find out what's wrong with him. Well, there's a lot. I'm human just like you are. There could be 101 things wrong with me.
I'm pretty sure there are.
But if I'm sick, I'll go see a doctor. If I think I'm mentally ill, I'll go see a shrink. If I have trouble putting if I don't know how to wear a shirt, I'll move to Hawaii. maybe that's where your channel's stationed at. I don't know.
That's actually funny.
Anyway.
Look, he laughed.
I'm done. Look, I love you, brother. I really do. Reason why I brought you up, however, is because when you were talking about G-Man, you didn't say anything about G-Man, what G-Man was trying to say in the video that you were criticizing had nothing to do with you. Okay? And I was going to take that video down because I thought, man, I'm jumping all over the place.
Really? Were you?
Because it was freestyle. I was just ranting in the name of Jesus.
Start calling Uncle DeRoy.
But
okay,
something told me, because there are certain things that I said that I don't need to have to go back and do a whole video to repeat them. Because I'm going to definitely repeat them. They're what I was thinking about all day. So I said them. But in closing, it's good to know you, Mr. Dragnauct. And it's good to know that you did say you agree with me on certain things. And yes,
things.
You and I will probably agree on things. But the stuff that we disagree about, I encourage you to try to think outside the box. You say, oh, well, I'm not in a box. I'm an atheist. Atheists are free. We're not in a box. You are free within the codes of atheism.
What?
Okay?
The what?
Because, I'm going to say it again, there's 100,000 religions out there.
The what of atheism?
And there's a whole world of unbelievers out there that wouldn't be caught dead claiming that they're atheists, not because they're afraid to, but because they understand that if I'm free to make any decision that I want to make and do whatever I want to do, I'm free to be as pagan as I want to. I'm free to smoke and drink and have orgies and watch porn and play with myself or do whatever I want to do, Mr. Dragnauct. Why do I care whether God exists or not? Why is that an issue? To my friend Dean, that I used to work in a fabrication shop with.
Ding.
He was sick and tired of his father's religion. His father was a Christian and wanted him, I think he was a 7-day Adventist or something like that. I think he was a 7-day Adventist.
7-day adventurer.
He was sick and tired of his dad's religion. I said, well, I'm not a 7-day Adventist. But he told me some things that his dad would harp on other than the gospel of Jesus Christ, which that's what it's all about, the gospel of Jesus Christ. All the other stuff is denominational. But their denomination believes in a lot of things. They mix in Old Testament laws that Jesus gave us grace for with what Jesus did for us on the cross. It's kind of confusing. So I understood how he felt. But he said, I hated my father's religion. But he says he wouldn't be caught dead calling himself an atheist. He says, I believe that there was a God. He says, but I just don't care. And he said, I just know that whatever God is, it ain't my father's religion.
Okay, so he's a theist.
And I says, well, God is not any religion or denomination or organization, as these atheists try to claim.
Then why do you call yourself a Christian?
God is God, and we are all coming one step closer and another step every time we convert from one thing to another. When you convert from this and that to Christian, and then you say, oh, that's wrong, so you leave Christianity and go back to Islam, and then you become an atheist, then you go from atheist to Christianity, and then you become a Scientologist or whatever. What you're doing is you're taking steps.
What?
It doesn't mean that you're trying to lie and confuse people and you're not studying. You are studying. That's why you're jumping around so much, because you are learning, you're studying. And you have a long time to learn. You just don't have a long time to accept who your master is. And everybody is a slave to somebody and something.
My wife, yeah.
Okay? I don't care about slavery, and I don't care about slavery that I'm not suffering. But the slavery that I gladly accept.
You and G-Man get
I'm
along.
a slave of the Lord Jesus Christ, Mr. Dragnauct.
Yep, there it is. Now,
somewhere within that slavery, okay, I don't feel a need to do a video with my shirt off.
what the fuck is...
God, I already said it again.
Oh, he's being funny.
I'm also not afraid to let the cool air touch my lovely nipples or the hairs on my chest. Okay?
Oh, Sly Cooper at it again.
But it was very entertaining for me as it was for you, maybe even more for me. Because I never thought that anybody, and you, my friend, you went through the whole video, and and you know what, you was like, and then you said, hold up, and the ones where you weren't making any cuss words.
Oh, the curse words.
You really said, well, I don't get it. And that's what it's all about, Mr. Dragnauct. That's what it's all about.
But you didn't explain anything, though.
If I'm confusing you, that might be God calling you.
Or maybe you just don't make gosh darn sense. Because it could... Maybe it's guys... No, maybe you just don't make sense. Maybe the words that come out of your mouth in a certain syntax literally don't make sense. Could that possibly be it? I'm pretty good at this kind of stuff. I just have to say, I think I've been around long enough and I've corrected enough of my mistakes and mishaps and conversations and doing these back when video responses were a thing. I think even back then I was halfway decent at trying to understand what people were saying, but literally me and everyone else in the chat had no idea what you were talking about because you kept going on a tangent, and then you're going on a tangent within the tangent, and you come back to a point that everyone was confused on. No, that's why I had to keep stopping the video, because I couldn't respond to the tangent of the tangent that you went on. Because I got lost with the lady at the desk. You referenced the lady at the desk, and somehow she came back in the story, and she kept telling you that she's wrong, but she believes in some things in feminism. I have no idea what's going on with that still, so we're gonna hear about the lady again and maybe get the whole story between 6 other tangents. No, it has nothing to do. There's no argument that you've actually put forth. Because I've heard the cosmological argument, the intelligent design argument. I've heard all that stuff before. It's cool. I know you got a few of those swimming around in there somewhere. I'll hear about it eventually. But all you've gone is, hey, there's a God and it exists, and you live in the world and I live in the magical fantasy land where everything is peaches and roses, and we gonna get a good old fashioned reward when me and G-Man get to heaven and all that nonsense. That's cool that y'all live in that fantasy world. I'm in reality. I'm in the world. That's cool. The reason why I'm looking left and right, because I'm like, is anybody else lost? I'm looking for some type of confirmation that I am not the only one who is just generally lost when you verbalize stream of consciousness, because it's not coherent. It has nothing to do at all with a deity speaking to me, because I believe it or not, you may not know this, but there are Christians who have my phone number. There are actual Christians who are apologists who have my phone number, and I've been at the park with my son and I've been on the phone. We've been talking about scripture. That's not a problem. I own a Bible. I think I actually have a few Bibles over here somewhere. That's not the issue. You literally don't make sense. The sequence of things that come out of your face hole aren't in a coherent manner by which people outside of your head understand. That's literally it. So it's possible if you could maybe, if you got to write it down, that's fine. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna say, okay, cool. Now he's writing it down. Now I can understand. I'll make a little, a flippant comment here and there, but that's about it. Like I'm just doing it just to be comedic, just so people can watch you and me. But I would prefer that so I can get what you're trying to get at, because I'm still confused. You had a central thesis somewhere, but I lost it between the stories about Ding whoever the hell that is, and your stepdaughter and the kids with the nipples, and then my nipples, and then the air on the nipples, and I have no idea. Like I'm not sure what the takeaway of this video really is, other than giving me your impression of me and how I interpreted the random string of anecdotes that you offered in no coherent order as a response to things that I was responding to that I originally didn't understand. So maybe here's an idea. Actually, you know what? I will give you my idea after you finish your video, so that maybe there's a place that we can start having a back and forth, because people are going to want to watch this, and I'll take time away from the G-tardation, as we call it, and just kind of focus on a video exchange between you and I, because tomorrow, my good man, I have Uncle Leroy. I have Uncle D-Roy. Tomorrow, I think I have biochemistry, and I think that's it. But let me double check about that, because you tend to kind of make your videos in the mornings and afternoons, if I'm not mistaken. So Monday, okay, so I'll be home around, yeah, so that'll work. So if you make a response to this tomorrow morning, I'll respond to it. If not, you do it in the afternoon. I get out of school around, get out of class around 3 p.m. Central. So if you don't make it in the morning, you make it in the afternoon, I'll respond to it in the afternoon. That's fine. We can just do late night video night or whatever. But most of my viewers are in the morning, so I'd prefer if it was a morning video. But you're a busy man. Unlike G-Man, I'm pretty sure you got an actual job. So, and again, I mentioned stuff like that because he made a whole ordeal that you didn't see about me not having a job, and him not understanding that as a veteran, I get paid to go to school. He didn't get that, so he kept referencing that, and that's why I make snide remarks like that, because it was good. Again, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So again, let me let you finish, and then I will offer something to go on. Review Debbie Does Dallas. I was thinking about actually doing reviews, but I'm terrible at editing, and so I would have to edit videos, and I'm bad at that, and so I don't have a video editing bitch. So that's probably you want to be the video editing bitch. That's what I thought. You'll think about it. Okay, we'll see. So tomorrow I just have seminar in biology. So well, Tuesday, folks. Tuesday there will be a live video of a biochemistry lab. So you get to see me fuck up chemicals again. So pray for me. Pray for me.
Making you stop laughing for a minute, if I'm making you put a shirt on for 2 seconds, okay?
I'm hot.
To understand some things here. This might be God calling you, because everybody in the church, half of us, came into this family angrily. It's almost like we got arrested into this family because we could not fight with the truth. We got to that point to where no matter how much we thought these Christians were stupid, no matter how much we thought this sermon was dumb, we had to accept that the dude is hitting on some real truth. So I'm going to ask you one more time. Why all these things in the world, the LGBT community, the feminism, social justice warriors, the hatred for Donald Trump,
hatred for
all
Donald
these
Trump
things that are going on in the world right now, why are they happening at such rapid intensity right now? That's a question the church is answering, but the world wants to fight, but they can't answer the question. There's a reason outside of your control, Mr. Dragnauct, as well as mine, why these things are happening like they are in rapid sequences and in rapid numbers right now. There's a reason, and it's a very spiritual reason.
Uh-oh, here it comes.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for posting.
What? Come on,
and
you did all that build up?
Accepts Jesus out of this, that's just going to make my year. God bless you. D-Recruit, your life applications officer. I will maybe look at some of your videos, Mr. Dragnauct, and decide to tell you, like I did with the G-Man video you did, tell you about what I think about some other issues that cause you to take your shirt off and you know, act crazy. So, talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing.
I love Mr. D-Roy. He is precious. I absolutely fucking love him. He is awesome. I'm gonna have fun with this. Woohoo! Woohoo! I was trying to refresh so I can see the comments. Okay, I'm gonna give. Why y'all? No, who gave him a thumbs down? Which one of you motherfuckers gave him a thumbs down? No, you better fix that shit. Y'all better thumbs up that. Spit on myself. God damn it. Okay, so didn't mean to do that. So, wow. I feel blue ball, like he was building up to, you know, why are these things happening? I was like, what is it? Tell me, Uncle D-Roy, tell me. Come on, Unc. And he just left off. You know, tune in next time for this episode of Life Application Officer Reloaded. Like, I gotta wait a whole week to find out. Okay, so let me just give you my take on things that have happened. And I'm not going to get to, because I know you like to do this weird kind of cut in with like politics and stuff. And so if I want to talk politics, I'll go grab the Mexican down the street. So, no, that's not me I actually do know a Mexican down the street. You may or may not notice him in my videos because for some strange reason, he shows up in half my videos when I'm live and just walking around doing my vlogging thing, and no one notices him, like he's goddamn invisible. I can be in his car and people hear him, but no one sees him. It's weird. Anyway, so why are there so many homosexuals and transsexuals and sexysexuals and pansexuals and atheists and all this kind of stuff out and about? All right, so it's real easy. If you sit down and you talk to the people that you're wondering about, they will tell you about them. It's honest, because something tells me you stay pretty cloistered in around people who think like you, and you don't get out that much. So especially, man, if you're venerable age, I can kind of surmise that other than your chance interactions with people at work, something doesn't tell me that you don't go outside of your comfort zone, outside of your little church group. And so you have to kind of fabricate why these things are happening and attach them to some weird ethereal spiritual battle that's happening, that, you know, with people with power levels and spirit possessions and apparitions and all type of weird shit that has nothing to do with this. Okay, so check it out. I referenced this earlier in the video where atheism overall was not very popular early in the U.S. Up until maybe like 10 years ago, you really couldn't say that you were an atheist because people would, like, that'd be a mar against you, along with being a homosexual or being, you know, bisexual or especially being trans. Like, that sort of thing is not. But with the advent of technology, get this, with the rise of the internet and with people like myself and many, many others who came before me putting out videos saying, hey, and you've mentioned this, it's not indoctrination, it's information. You don't get indoctrinated unless you're really inundated with something. And I understand your view of be casually walking past something in a grocery store is inundating. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about consuming the same doctrine for hours every single day for a continuous period of time. When I say indoctrination, that's what I'm talking about. So just so we're a bit clearer on terms, the folks in my generation, I am in that weird generation between millennial and was it Generation X? I think it's millennial generation. I was born in '87, so yeah, there's a weird like 5-year span. I think they're called zennials. Yeah, I'm technically in a zennial age group. Folks in my age bracket have a bit of a stronger understanding, I'd say a more comprehensive understanding of history, just based on our access to technology and our access to more information, right? So with that being said, some of us took to these platforms to try and make our own mark on history and became incredibly overzealous. And so yes, you had the rise of neo third wave feminism, which swung that metaphorical pendulum all the way the fuck on the other side, where we got to be super fucking accepting of everything, and if you don't date a trans person, then you're transphobic and all that kind of stuff. I absolutely agree. Some of that shit's crazy. I watched it go down where people were bullied. Actually, straight people were fucking bullied if they would not accept having a homosexual interaction with someone. I know that was a trope, but I've actually seen that happen in a small instance. That was a very, very, very small anecdotal instance. I did not see that outside of certain private Facebook groups and whatnot. So, yes, that pendulum has swung the other way. There's a lot of stuff happening because people are trying to change history rapidly, because what they see or what they perceive as being wrong, they want to correct it overnight. Or they want to ostracize people who aren't with the program as a way to expedite this process. So yes, you're seeing more of this stuff, and it's not as gradual as it was in previous years. Again, the technology that we have here contributes to that. So if you want to find a reason why, well, because it was fucked up what's happened in the past. Honestly, we showed the PSA about how to spot a homosexual. Do you agree with stuff like that? I don't think I need to spot a homosexual. Unless I'm trying to find an interior designer or somebody to cut my hair. Them are some of the best people I'm looking for the gay dude with limp wrists to cut my hair. They do a really good fucking job. But like, I don't get how you don't see that. As someone who grew up in that time frame, do you think that the way that your parents were treated was right? Do you not see or acknowledge that as time went on, people started gaining more rights? So if it's okay for your parents to gain rights, my parents to gain rights, why is it not okay for other minorities to gain rights? That's how I relate it. I can't sit here and say, you know what, denying people housing because the color of their skin is wrong, but you know what, fuck them gays. No, that doesn't seem right to me, because how can I sit here and advocate for my group and not say the same thing for somebody else's? That's it. That's literally the end all. That's it. That's period. So on that level is a way for me to connect with other folks that, you know what, I don't have too much in common with. But if you want to okay, why there's so many transsexual? You want to know why there's a lot of transsexual? Because there's a lot of people who are just born, and you know what? They feel that they're just born in the wrong body. Like, that's the way they've explained it to me. I don't know. I'm a straight dude, mostly straight dude, that I feel that I'm male, and I look down. Yeah, I'm pretty doggone male. I feel pretty confident that I'm male. All right, I'm good with that. But some folks say, you know what? I feel like a woman, and they do all kind of stuff to make themselves into a woman, up into whatever they feel comfortable with. And that's their fucking business. Why is that my problem? Why is that your problem? I'm always concerned with why you guys seem to be concerned with what these other people do with their bodies. I find it hilarious that some of you folks focus on people who are transitioning and not focusing on the dudes who are paying these folks to have sex. Do you know how many straight dudes are out there having sex with transsexual women? That a lot of them are getting murdered. A lot of them get murdered because something leaks out. Hey, so-and-so is having sex with, Deep Throat Ultra on Instagram, whatever. That stuff is everywhere. It is everywhere. Yes, it is everywhere. But these are straight dudes who are partaking in it, and there's a market for it. And where's the market? You know what? There's money to be made. There's all types of stuff that I'm pretty sure you find abhorrent. But folks got bills to pay, whether they're straight or gay. And they're going to find a way to do it. And they're going to do what they love doing. My thing is, as long as you're safe and as long as people consent, I'm cool with that. That has no impact on my life. That's how I view the world. So what does he say? What does G-Man say? Subway. Let me Subway. I got to remember the malaprop that he uses. let me segue into somewhat of a thesis. I'll say that because there's so many points we can go on. Hold on. Nicholas saying that transgender individuals have only increased because, one, you can't get registered as a sex offender for simply being trans anymore, and two, it's more accepted and it needn't be hidden. There we go. That's a summation. I try not to speak for LGBTQ folks. I try my best to qualify those statements that I make based on what some of them tell me, because that's not my fucking place at all. So if there's anything, and let me do this, I would implore you to go out and seek some of these folks. If you don't understand, I think you said your daughter is gay. Sit down and have an earnest. Then don't go up to her preaching. Go up to her with open ears, because you claim that you got an open mind. Dude, I've been having these conversations, sitting down talking to theists all the time. Like you should probably go back to some of my videos where I've sat down and I've talked to Christians, or just ask people. You know what? Put in my comment section, hey, does Dragnauct, have an open mind? Does he go and does he entertain other people's ideas openly? Yes, I do. And I even the Christians that come to my campus, the Jehovah's Witnesses, I'll sit down and I'll talk to them. There's Baptists. There's actually Southern Baptists of all people will come to campus, and I have 2 of their phone numbers, so I got that covered. Trust me. But it'd be nice for you to actually sit down and open your ears, maybe open your heart to hearing about how some of these people are living. You might be shocked. You might be shocked as to what some of them have to go through because of certain views of people that you may or may not agree with. Because I won't say all Christians, because that's not the case. I know not all Christians feel the same way you do about them. But why is there this focus on how they're living their life when they're not hurting anybody? Because that's my overall issue. Why are we even having this conversation about what they're doing if they're not breaking any laws, they're not hurting anybody, they're doing what they need to be doing in life? Why are we even talking about that? We could be talking about something else that matters. That's my beef. But so off of that, so you want to kind of figure out why I'm not a huge fan of the God thing. Well, look, we can start with the basics. I do have videos going into detail. I have my deconversions. I think I actually did my deconversion story redux probably a year ago or something. You can find that video. But if there's certain evidences that you want to put forth or certain arguments, let's be specific. Let's address them. Less rambling, more to the point. And I have no problem with putting on a tank top or something like that if me being naked distracts you. That's whatever. It's kind of hot here in Texas, and I'm a fat guy, so I like being cool. I sleep naked. Like, I'm in my drawers right now. You can't see that, but I'm hot. I'm not really doing that because I'm trying to impress anybody. I'd rather have a shirt on, but I'm fucking hot. I've been doing stuff with my shirt off for a while now. That's kind of my thing. I'm gonna stay hot as long as I'm a fat guy. So, can you put this mustard up? Why is this mustard in here? I don't know why we got mustard in here. So, yeah, let's start there. Let's start a dialogue, and we'll go from why do you think that? Let's see. How can I phrase this? Because I see you have a problem with profanity. I love to cuss. And just say whatever the poopy I want to say. But we could start with something very simple, such as, why do you believe? Actually, let's make this fun. Let's make this funner. Let's make this really, 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 really fun. Why do you think that people don't believe in God? And then I'll give you feedback on that based on a number of testimonials from folks that I know and myself. And so we'll go from there, because it seems like you feel as though you have a good eye on, people's motivations and their ideas and stuff. So I'm actually very curious as to what you think. And I'm not going to beat you up on that, since we're just exploring ideas. Offer what you believe and kind of where you got that idea from, whether you heard it from someone directly or you're hearing it secondhand, and because I want to kind of get to the source of a lot of these claims, because you have some weird views and misconceptions when it comes to the LGBTQ, and I'd like to kind of know where you get your ideas from as well on that, like where you get your information from. I tend to defer to scientific literature for stuff, like and for things, of course, things that are applicable, things that are philosophical in nature. There are plenty of books and philosophers and stuff that we can defer to, and like Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy and all that cool shit. So that's what I like to defer to. But if you just want to keep it out of that realm and just, we know what, we'll just go with just basic homegrown knowledge. Just I'm trying to leave as much jargon out of this. Just personal experience. Common sense, as old folks refer to. That's fine. We'll stick to that. But let me know the type of dialogue you want to have, and then we'll proceed with that. So, on that note, I am tired. I think it's time for bed. What time is it? It's midnight here. So it's time to go to bed. Yep. So Mrs. says it's time to go to bed. So let me turn off that, and let me just turn that down right there. All right. So do y'all wanna see the Audacity music video and play that out, or just end it? So let me know in the chat if you want me to play the Audacity, or just turn it off. And y'all have a good night. So Mrs. Drax said just turn it off because she's tired of hearing it. She's tired of hearing all that nonsense. I play it too much. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Here, by the way. Look at that. Have a good night. All right, so I guess that's it. I guess y'all want to hear it. So on that, thank you, Mr. Cruz. Did y'all fix these lights? I keep forgetting about that. Y'all need to thumbs up this video. I like this video. This is a good one. Hey, I think Dragnauct answers this in his review of your video now. Answer me this: why are there so many black people on TV today as opposed to in the 80s? Are we being indoctrinated? It's silly. You like it?
Yeah, it's nice. I'm not an atheist.
Huh?
I don't know if he's still watching.
Oh. Yeah, Cable, the answer to that question is no. She's not. But, close, but, no. So, all right, Soccer, you're not getting any more points. God damn it. Soccer got more points? Fuck. Okay. Hope we gamble them all away. No one gives Soccer points. He's a gambling addict. No, none of that for you. None of that. That's enough. You shouldn't have any points either, Jello. Y'all, I'm gonna shut y'all off. Y'all need more. Y'all are abusing. My bot complains that y'all are gambling. I'm sorry, Uncle DeRoy, about these heathens gambling in the chat. I don't know why. Crow, how the hell do you have over 2,000 fucking? Where are you getting points from? What the hell? I need to fix this. How are y'all getting so many goddamn points? Well, dick pics, like, oh, that's true. You do get like 150 points per dick pic. That's true. It's automatic. So, how the hell do you got almost 2,000 or over 1,100 points? I'm nuking all your points, all your loyalty points. I'm nuking them all. You don't bet. Oh, okay. You need to teach that to other folks. All right, folks. Thanks for watching tonight. Y'all have a good night, and go give my man some thumbs up. Yeah, let me copy this. Go give him some thumbs up. Go show him some love. I like him. He's silly.